Hello everyone, Peter Melton back again with Dr. Guy McPherson. In this segment, we want to talk about what climate change is. Climate Change 101, we're calling it, so that you could send this to people and folks who are just early in their process of understanding what climate change even is. This will give them a general background for that. So, Dr. McPherson, start back industrial civilization. Give us the run-up to how we've even come to know that we might have a problem.
Yeah, so at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, 1750, say, the planet was about 14 degrees centigrade, global average temperature of the planet. That's about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, we burned a bunch of carbon that had been stored in the ground for millions of years in the form of coal, oil, and gas. And in the process, we have created a blanket, the so-called greenhouse effect. So you get into your car on a summer day, the windows have been rolled down, so it's the same temperature inside as outside. You start down the road, it's a little chilly, you roll up the windows. Pretty soon, if you don't turn on the air conditioner or the fan, it's getting warm. It's getting warm in a hurry. Well, carbon dioxide is the equivalent of rolling up the windows on the planet. We've been doing that for a long time now. And so that is holding some of the heat in, trapping it on the planet. So that now we've added about 0.85 degrees centigrade global average temperature to the planet. Doesn't sound like much, but it is triggering all kinds of global climate changes in weather that manifest in changes in climate, such as a meandering jet stream or a polar vortex, droughts like we've never seen before, storms, floods like we've never seen before. All these results, all these effects from the cause of slightly warming up the planet.
Right. So the greenhouse gases are trapped, like you described. Even in your car, the heat can come in, but it can't come out. So that creates this minor shift. But the minor shift just mixes things up a little bit, or a lot of it.
That's right. It has caused about a 1.5, maybe 2 degree Fahrenheit temperature increase. That doesn't sound like much, but the global average level, it's acidifying the oceans, because carbon dioxide is being absorbed by the oceans, turning into carbonic acid for all practical purposes. So we have acidification of oceans going on, which affects all kinds of marine life, including the phytoplankton at the base of the marine food web. The droughts and the floods, and then the late freezes in the spring and the early freezes in the autumn are producing all kinds of impacts for plants. So we've changed things.
Yeah, and the ice. I mean, this is one of the main topics that gets brought up, is what's happening with the melting ice.
So in the Arctic, we haven't had an ice-free Arctic for somewhere between 3.2 and 5.4 million years, much longer than the run of humans on this planet. And it appears we're headed for an ice-free Arctic. That's the planetary air conditioner, is the Arctic. And we're going to lose the ice, all the ice from the Arctic. One of these Septembers, late summer, when it gets down to its minimum, we're going to lose it all within the next few years. And then, instead of having solar radiation bounce back by that white ice, we're going to have it absorbed by that dark blue ocean.
Right, and that's one of the runaway effects, or the feedback loops that you talk about, is how the more the ice melts, the more the ocean is receiving, the dark blue is taking in the sunlight instead of the white ice reflecting the sunlight. And this is a self-reinforcing feedback loop where the less ice there is, the warmer it gets, the less ice there is.
That's right, and it's one of many self-reinforcing feedback loops we've triggered on the climate front at this point.
So these are some of the things, the parameters about how things are changing. The jet stream used to go across the country smoothly from west to east in 3 or 4 days, and now it's meandering around, and that's bringing cold air down to places that don't do so good with cold air, and it's bringing warm air up to the Arctic. And so we're just in a very unpredictable time, and that's what we mean by climate change, is that things are changing, and things are changing, and
yes.
That's what's happening.
Yes, it's not the planet we grew up with.
And it's not global warming, meaning everywhere is going to get warmer. It's global weirding. It's that things are just becoming unpredictable, and we're not sure where it's going. And Dr. McPherson is doing his best to put the pieces together to estimate what might this look like if we keep going the direction that we're going.
And If you want to find further information, there are several video clips on my website, including from a recent Climate Change 101 presentation.
Yes, the lotusguy.com sponsored an event in Chico, California. Hooray, Chico. And a beautiful video about that, too. So lots of videos on the website and beyond that you can investigate deeper into climate change. Thank you for listening and for being interested in what's going on with your planet.